Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with, is Brisbane worth going to? Before we jump in and make this decision, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. I feel like Brisbane. You go to Australia, you gotta go to Brisbane. You gotta go to Melbourne. You gotta go to Sydney. You gotta go to... What else do you gotta go to? I'm intrigued. I rooted for the Brisbane AFL team who failed just short. This close. They're closer than this. They're closer to what I can show on the screen of winning that title this year. But I'm intrigued to see what Australians think about Brisbane. So, no further ado, let's see what we got.
Brisbane, Australia. Located in southeast Queensland, it's a gateway to over 30 international destinations and is the third largest city in Australia. But it gets overlooked by a lot of tourists. So I'm going to the streets of Brisbane to find out if it's worth going to.
Talk to me.
How long have you been in Brisbane for?
I've been living in Brisbane for about 16 years now.
About 4 years now?
Almost 6 years.
5 years.
1 day.
I've been here for 1 year.
1 day. That's crazy, the 1 day.
Been here for 3 years.
For like 3-4 years now.
For 3-4 years as well.
For about 5 years now.
16 years, yeah.
And about 10 years.
2 years, mate.
And what's the best thing about it?
Best thing? It's very clean. It's probably the cleanest city I've been to. I'm from Perth originally. I've lived in London, absolute mess. Brisbane's so clean. Council does a good job here.
I think the best thing is that there's so much to do, and it's always, everything's always open. It's got such good nightlife, and then there's a lot to do in the day as well, so it's just really fun.
Oh, I just love the atmosphere and the culture around the city.
Best thing is public transport for sure.
The food and the shopping.
Well, I grew up in a town of 10,000 people that had one McDonald's, so having access to real food's pretty good.
I think there's 3 or 4 McDonald's in this one.
Yeah, just...
I grew up in a small town, 2,000 people. We had one McDonald's, so access to real food. You know, that's the great thing about here. It sounds like, hey, everything going, or a lot of stuff is open during the night as well as during the day, so you never run out of stuff to do. Got great food, got great shopping, third biggest city in Australia, very clean city. I'm not hearing nothing bad about Brisbane right now. I'm not hearing any negatives about why people shouldn't visit this place. Brisbane sounds like a go-to spot.
Are there any bad things about Brisbane?
Let's see.
What's the worst thing?
Worst thing? I can't really think of anything, actually.
That's pretty good. Can't think of anything.
Very good. Very good.
No, I don't have many negatives about Brisbane, it's all pretty good.
Hey!
People are a little bit rude here. It's the only thing, but the traffic.
Just the traffic, I think.
traffic.
Like any major city, though, traffic's always bad. But yeah, traffic just always banks up. But the public transport is pretty good here.
The public transport is not ideal.
The traffic is so bad. I actually hate it. And the drivers. There's so many bad drivers here. I'm probably one of them, but it's so stressful.
Oh, the construction site.
And the humidity is pretty brutal.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people...
I cannot stand traffic. Traffic is my mortal enemy. I hate going slow. I hate going slow. I hate going slow. I hate not being able to go. I've lived in a major city for a year, and I couldn't stand traffic. I'm definitely a small city kind of guy. Not too country. Don't get it. Not too country. But just a small city. Small city. Yeah. Traffic is annoying. But I mean, if that's the worst thing about Brisbane, that's awesome. All big cities are going to have traffic, so it's a big city. And if that's the worst thing about this big city, it sounds like they living good out there.
When they plan their trips to Australia, they go to either Sydney or Melbourne.
They do.
And then maybe up north to the Great Barrier Reef.
Yes.
For those people, is it worth going to Brisbane, and why?
Oh, absolutely. Brisbane's better than Sydney, but not as good as Melbourne.
Definitely worth going to, because it's a smaller, nicer, more welcoming Melbourne or Sydney.
Nice, relaxed.
Okay.
It's a lot more relaxed than Sydney and Melbourne, and it's not as much of a hustle and bustle as well. So yeah, it's just really cool, chill, and relaxed.
If you want to do puzzles in your holiday, while you're coming for a holiday, you want to do puzzles and crosswords, come to Brisbane. A lot of tourist attractions.
Anything that makes it better than Sydney or Melbourne?
The vibes.
The vibes.
it's got everything. There's always something going on. Last night you had 2 sporting events on the AFL. You had the rugby union on at Suncorp. It's very diverse with culture here as well. It's a very welcoming city. So if you're coming to Australia, you got to check out Brisbane.
I think Brisbane is a very good hub where you can start all your trip, and then you can travel out. Not far away, you can go up north to Noosa, Sunshine Coast, and further down south you can go to Byron Bay, which is very nice. So I think considering Brisbane as a first destination, I think it would be a good idea as well.
So you got to hit up Brisbane, right? No, it's a smaller, more welcoming Sydney or Melbourne. You feel me? The vibes make it better though. And if you're not into like huge, gigantic city, which I guess Brisbane is the 3rd biggest city, so it is a pretty big city, but it's still smaller than Sydney and Melbourne. And there's an attraction to that.
For anyone now just sort of on the fence about coming to Brisbane, do you have a quick message for them?
Come to Brisbane. It's a really great place and the people are very friendly.
Hop off the fence and come.
Don't go to the overcrowded places like Sydney or Melbourne because Brisbane has a lot of beautiful things to offer.
It's a gateway to the world, Brisbane. You come into Australia, you can jump on the next flight over to the States. You've got to see Brisbane though when you come to Australia.
Shout out my guy for shouting out the States.
Wow, I want to go to Brisbane.
Yeah, you got to go.
I'm here.
You're here. Come to Brisbane, everyone watching.
I'm on my way, Brisbane. I'm coming. We're going to have a good time. No, I think it would be like awesome to be able to go to Brisbane, to go to Melbourne, to go to Sydney, to go to all these awesome places that Australia has to offer. I think that would be really dope. But that's all we got for this one. If you guys have a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, drop it in the comment section, or in the description section there's a premium request link. It's your boy D Neal. Out.